الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وبعد. We'll take about 10 minutes inshallah as we are in the night for the Kitab al-Nikah. Kitab al-Nikah, the book of marriage. And we mentioned some points after Maghrib, inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala. We'll continue as we were talking about the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muslimuna ala shurutihim, that the Muslims are upon the conditions that they make. And normally when the scholars in their books of fiqh, they talk about the conditions to az-zawaj, the conditions to az-zawaj. Who can tell me the difference between the conditions to zawaj, the difference between conditions to zawaj or conditions to nikah? If we say conditions to nikah or conditions to zawaj, is there a difference between the two statements? And if so, what are they? Nikah or zawaj?
Say it again.
We're talking about conditions, shurut al-nikah. Some will say shurut al-zawaj. Is there a difference between the usage of the two words, nikah here and zawaj in the context? If there's a difference, then tell me what's the difference. If there's not, then say there's no difference.
Shurut al-nikah arba'a.
ماذا؟
The conditions of nikah are 4. Zawaj is something.
لا التعبير المعنى لفظ شروط النكاح أو إذا تقول شروط ماذا الزواج هل في فرق بين هذين عبارتين? Is there a difference between the two expressions? Notice one ends with nikah and one with zawaj. شروط النكاح شروط الزواج. Is there a difference? If we translate both this into the conditions of marriage, is this the same meaning when we say shurut al-zawaj as when we say shurut al-nikah? There's no difference.
I think it is. I say there's difference. Yeah.
طيب ومن قال فيه فرق تفضل.
Shurut al-nikah is the wali, the mahr, the consent, and the shahadatan, the shuhada, the two witnesses. And the conditions of zawaj differ pertaining to what would constitute the marriage after the fact.
طيب. He said the difference, he said here, when you say shurut al-zawaj, this means what the scholars normally mention, the wali, you have to have the mahr, the sadaq, the gift, the two witnesses, and what else?
The consent.
And the consent, we mentioned tayyib. It said, and if you say shurut al-nikah, then this means after you got married.
Well, the other way, the nikah is what I mentioned in the
nikah is with tayyib. الفرق بين شروط النكاح وشروط الزواج ليس فرق بينهما لأن في القرآن لا يوجد لفظ النكاح إلا أنه بمعنى العقد. In the Quran, when Allah uses nikah, is meant to mean aqd, the contract. When you say zawaj, it's talking about the contract as well, or the agreement between the people. There's one time in Surah Al-Baqarah, nikah, it means wata'i, the intercourse. So when you see nikah in the Quran, it's always meaning aqd. And likewise, zawaj in this context is talking about, context is meaning the aqd. So if you say shurut nikah, you read the book of the scholars, say shurut nikah, or if you say shurut zawaj, they mean aqd. Nikah was zawaj bima'na aqd. طيب. أما ما قال, as far as what he's talking about, then some of the scholars, they say that shurut يعني هو كل شيء خارج من الأمور. كل شيء خارج من الأمور. This is shurut. Everything that's outside of the issue. Like if you say shurut al-salah. These are the things that are outside of salah, meaning before you enter salah. Al-Islam, wal-aql, wal-tamyiz, يعني رفع الحدث, like this. You can't pray and then if you don't do those things, the salah is batil. You have to have that before the salah, kharij on the salah. So likewise, many of them, they say this is the meaning of shurut. Therefore, before the marriage contract, the wali, yani the sadaq, the gift, and be aware. Sometimes the people don't like today to use the word sadaq. They just say gift. Why? Because sadaq, they say, is something that in the countries back home, the father he gets. That don't come to the daughter, the girl. The father he put that in his pocket. So they just say hadiyah. Ya akhi, Allah musta'an, the sadaq, laha wa laysa lahu. It's to her, not to him. So you say sadaq, yani the gift for marriage, the wali, the two witnesses, and the consent. All of that's before you do the aqd. But some, they said that the rukan, the arkan, is in the marriage. But we find that this could be wrong too, because one of the things that they say is from the arkan of marriage. Min arkana mada az-zawaj ar-rida bain az-zawjain. Rida, pleasure, pleasing. Bain az-zawjain. Zawjain, the man and the woman. That's before you get marriage. Before you get the marriage and the contract, she has to be pleased with him, right? She has to be pleased with him in order to say yes. He has to be pleased with her in order to ask. So what happens? You get into marriage and then the lady says, I'm not pleased with him. Then is it still shurut? Because prior you have to be pleased. And if shurut is before you do something, conditions, then is this shurut or is it arkan? The pillar.
The difference between the arkan and the shurut.
And the بعض al-usuliyin, with some of the scholars of usul, yeah. But some say there's no difference. Why? Because this issue, you have to be pleased before the aqd and in the marriage. Because if she's not pleased, then what? She has ground for what? Khula. Yeah. She's not pleased. Look at the hadith of ماذا? Khais, yes. It said, ما وعيب عن دين الخلق. It said, I'm not, I have a problem with his deen and khulq. But when you read the whole hadith, she did. He used to break her bones. Used to beat her until he broke her bones. So she wasn't pleased with him. Some narrations in the Sunnah Abi Dawud, she said when he used to come home, I used to want to spit in his face. Did that seem like she was pleased with him? She said, but I'm afraid that I will have kufr ashir, that I will not be grateful, meaning obedient to him. Prophet said, can you give back the sadaq? She said, yes. He said, go home to your family. But she wasn't pleased with him. So, which one is this? Is this the pillar or shurut? We see sometimes they're interchangeable. That's why Shaykh al-Albani, he deemed niyyah to be arkan. He didn't deem it to be shurut, like Sheikh bin Baz. Why? Because if you don't have niyyah in the salat, guess what? The salat is batil. You have to maintain the niyyah all the way through. You're praying 2 raka'ah. and you're praying Fajr, and then all of a sudden you say, no, this is my sunnah. You can't do that. Niyyah has to be the same all the way through. Aywa. So sometimes shurut means that which is before the thing and in the thing. And this is a benefit from the hadith of Sallam, al-Muslimun ala shurutihim. Muslims are upon what they agree upon. Wallahu musta'an. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Hada wa sallallahu wa sallam baraka ala nabina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallama tasliman kathira. Jazakum Allahu khayr.